Here's one back-to-school item that is tough to find this year. Teachers, they're in short supply nationwide. Low pay, overworked, and the lingering effects of the pandemic are just some of the reasons why school teachers are leaving the classroom.
Well, the shortfall is becoming a major crisis across the country, and school districts are taking extreme measures to try to fill the gap. Charlene has the details.
As the first day of class approaches, thousands of public schools are scrambling to fill vacant teaching positions. The teacher shortage is forcing many districts to make adjustments while offering unique incentives to attract educators.
We're still recruiting as much as we can, but needless to say, when we're 3 weeks from the start of school, actually 3 weeks from today will be day 2. When we're 3 weeks from the start of school, it's time to start looking at some Plan B options.
Dr. Brian Austin of Chesapeake Public Schools in Virginia says his district is short some 60 teachers.
We're seeing more retirements than, frankly, we have incoming new hires.
The district looking to substitute teachers to fill the void.
We may have some situations where a sub that subbed for us on a daily basis, we may need to pull some of them in some long-term sub positions.
The problem is nationwide, driven by the pandemic, burnout, low pay, and ever-increasing demands.
As an elementary principal back in the 90s, I would have 100 to 150 applicants for a kindergarten to second grade position, and I'm currently sitting at 5.
As of today, we have 16 teaching openings for the upcoming year.
Florida seeing as many as 9,500 open teaching positions just weeks before the start of school. Those leaving the classroom say the decision is hard.
I was definitely very emotional about leaving the kids, but I just started to realize that I needed to do it for myself.
According to the Economic Policy Institute, the problem only growing worse, predicting a nationwide shortfall of 300,000 teachers by 2024. Desperate school districts are turning to extraordinary measures. Des Moines Public Schools is offering a $50,000 bonus to teachers, nurses, and administrators who are nearing retirement to stay with the district through the 2022-2023 school year. Florida's Department of Education now offers a temporary teaching certificate to military veterans who have not yet earned their bachelor's degree. The Dallas Independent School District setting aside $51 million for salary increases and $52 million for retention bonuses for the new school year. Like many districts, Chesapeake is raising teacher pay.
And our starting salary this year is $51,500. That's up from last year's starting salary of $47,150. So we've made teaching salaries a priority, and then also our classified staff had a 14% raise.
Chesapeake is also offering teachers the option to work virtually.
We will open up our own virtual academy for our students in grades kindergarten all the way through high school. We have teachers who absolutely thrive and loved teaching in a virtual setting.
Meanwhile, the Department of Education hopes to use money from the American Rescue Plan to help fill vacant teacher positions around the country. Andrew?
Charlene, thank you for this report. It's alarming. Let's talk about federal incentives. For example, is the government willing to do something like forgive student debt for teachers?
Andrew, there is some relief out there for teachers, thank God, because I think they do need it. But there's a program where they can apply for this really great relief if they've been teaching for 5 years, for 5 consecutive and complete years in certain schools. They can apply for this relief. That's about $17,500. Also, teachers who teach in settings where they're really serving low-income families, they can apply for student debt relief in those areas. And many of them are definitely going to jump on that, I assume.
Yeah. Charlene, you know, there's been an increase in homeschooling and Christian schools in recent years. How big is that growth, and why do you think it's happening?
You know, CBN News has covered this from time to time. It's a huge, huge issue right now. Many people are really frustrated with public schools. You know, in 2019, there were 2.5 million students being homeschooled in the U.S. That number today has more than doubled. Parents are frustrated because of woke policies in public schools. There's issues with the pandemic, to mask or not to mask. Some districts say yes, some say no. And there's also the issue of transgender issues and CRT policies in public schools that families are just saying, Christian families are just fed up. And so there's this huge increase in homeschooling homeschooling as well as Christian schools are seeing a huge enrollment. Also, there are parents who are saying when the pandemic happened and there was the lockdown and students were learning from home, their kids thrived in a remote learning setting. So they're going to continue and hoping to see that success as they do teaching at home for their students.
Wow, so many dynamics involved. Charlene, thanks for your report. We appreciate you being with us today.
Pleasure.